Hi guys, the following video is a edited version of one that I posted last night, about 10 o'clock at night. And I had some other stuff to do, so let it sit for a little while. And I came back to see if anybody else was up at 10 o'clock at night and was surprised to see that 35 people had already seen that video. Come on, people. What are you doing up at 10 o'clock at night? Go to sleep. Also, there was a really interesting comment by one of the subscribers, and he said, "Frank, you might have made a mistake. You may have put the oil pressure um, valve together wrong," which put me into an instant panic. So I went out to the garage and I took the thing apart and found out that I had, in fact, put it together wrong. I'd put it together twice, once correctly, and the second time I wasn't paying attention, and I put it together with the spring and the piston facing the wrong way. And boy, am I glad he made that comment. So I put it back together correctly and I reinstalled it in the bike. And wow, I really appreciate the fact that he noticed. I really appreciate the fact that he sent me the comment and let me know that I'd done it wrong. So anyway, I immediately took down this video, and I've done some editing to it. And I took out the part where I put it together wrong, and the only part in there now is when I put it together right. You may notice a little jump between when I say, okay, this is the way it goes together, and the fact that it's already installed in the timing cover. I also noticed that somehow I had at least one segment 3 times. Don't know how that happened. I'm using Win Movie Maker, and not a fan. Not a fan. So anyway, I spent a bunch of time today cutting out all the excesses, cutting out the long put together segments, cutting out where I put the thing together wrong. And here is the video edited. And if anybody sees anything else that's wrong, please let me know. Um, I screwed up. Somebody caught it. Let me know. I fixed it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so here's the edited video. Working on the 75 electric start Norton. It's been sitting quite a while. I got the new rear hydraulic brake switch. I just installed that. And I'm getting ready to pull the timing cover off and check the anti-drain down valve that's built into the 1975. You can always tell because it's got this little pimple here. That's where the valve is embedded in that area. And what happens is when they sit for a very long time, the valve sticks. And when it sticks, it could stick in, it could stick out. And either way is not good. So I take the cover off, clean up the check valve, put it back on, reset the timing. At that point, I think I can dress this bike out. It might be ready to be dressed out and started. So I'll go over my notes because frankly, it's been sitting so long, I don't remember what status it's in. But yeah, carbs sound good. Got good snap. All the electrical's done. I can tell that. I've got the fender painted. I'll put that on. Primer is open. I always leave it open until after I get the first start. And battery's got a nice hold down. I made that. And we'll see. Maybe in the next day or so, this thing will actually start. Be kind of cool. All right. That's about where we are today. And I will leave it at that. Maybe do a follow-up later. Don't know. All right, I've got the timing cover off. I've rinsed it all out. The only reason there's not oil dripping out of here is there's no oil in the tank. It's drained. Always replace this little gasket here. Little oil seal. Always replace that. This is a 1975, so use a stock one. Okay? Nice and clean. Walking, walking, walking. Got pretty good bolts, Phillips. I'm going to clean those up and reuse them. This is the timing cover. We always replace, let's do a little zoom work here. We always replace the crankcase seal. It faces in, and the timing seal, which faces out. Don't forget, it takes a special tool when you install this lid, this cover, so that this doesn't turn inside out and start leaking. The anti-drain down valve in the 75 is built in. You don't have to do the AMR mod on a 75. And here is the anti-drain down valve. And you see it's spring loaded and it's working just fine. I have found them jammed in here. This one's beautiful. I'll pull it out so that you can see what it looks like. May have to get a magnet. There we go. Nice tubular hollow. And this is the spring. And that's the whole thing. Very lightweight spring. Nice little slidey valve. This comes out and rests against the oil seal that I showed you from the other side and stops the oil flow like this. And then when the oil pressure pushes this back, it lets the oil flow. So it keeps the oil from draining down from the oil tank into the engine sump. So I'll clean out this little guy here. He's nice and smooth. I don't have any real problem with the action. But I'll do a little bit more cleaning and then put this thing back together. I've got new seals all around. Put it back together in just a little while. All right, here's a little might as well situation. While we've got it off, we might as well, those three little words that get us in so much trouble, take the pressure regulator off and clean it out, make sure it's okay. Now, I should have loosened this while the cover was on the bike. It would have been really easy then. It'd be really hard now. So I'm going to cheat. I'll show you how I'm going to cheat. This is difficult to do while I'm holding the camera, but I'm going to take this lid, I'm going to put it in the vise right here. Now, okay, I've got the vise holding the inner nut, and if I give it a smack, theoretically, it should break free. And it did. Okay, at this point, I'm going to lay it down again. Okay, so now it's loose. I can take it out, and I'll take it apart and clean it. I'll show you what's inside. It's a spring, another spring with a slidey valve. Very, very basic. Works really, really well. I may even set up the tripod for that one. There we go. All right, we'll take this apart and I'll show you how it goes. Okay, let's talk about the pressure relief valve. This is the body. It goes into the motor like this. Uses this nice copper washer. And no, it doesn't. It uses this nice aluminum washer. Okay, I always put a little gasket sealer on there. Copper washer goes between the halves, between the dome and the body. The valve assembly, this is the valve. It slides in like this. Okay, moves up and down. Spring goes in here. If you find spacers in here, that means that somebody added spacers trying to increase the spring pressure to increase the oil pressure. You can feel it rattling around in there just a little bit. I'm not sure it should, but I'm putting this back in as a stock unit. If the slide won't come out, the valve, get it down here. You can usually pull it out with your little finger, like so. And if not, because there's a slight rim built up here, sometimes I'll take a pair of long nose pliers and stick it in there and do this and pull it out. Or maybe I'll use these long nose pliers and pull it out, like so. Okay? So anyway, that's how it's put together to the timing cover, like so. Now, this is just for demonstration purposes because I'm going to do now put it back together with a little bit of gasket sealer on all these, on both of these washers. But that's how it works. These are the, let's see if I see back here. Yeah, we can still see this. This is the anti-drain down valve. This is the old oil seal, old oil seal, old oil seal, and the retainer for this oil seal. We'll put all that stuff new. I cleaned up all these timing cover bolts. Clean parts work better. They look nicer. So I'm going to put this together and put it back on the bike. Okay, I've got the cover all set. The new oil seal is in here. The new oil seal is in here. This is the tool that we use to install this cover. Let's go over here. It goes into the end of the camshaft to give a smooth transition so that the seal doesn't catch on the edge and flip inside out. And here is the new oil seal on the pump itself. That's already in place. Okay, I'm going to go get the cover and do the installation. Okay, I put a very light coating of oil on here just so it slips together smoother. Here's the lid. Here's the anti-drain down valve, just fine. We're going to put this in place and give it a smack and see how smooth it goes on. There it goes. Nice and tight. All right, good and tight. All right, so we'll just put a couple of screws in here to hold it in place. And now, okay, so I'm going to run these in. Where's it on? All right. Yeah, I really prefer Allen's, but these are good shapes. We'll use those. And at this point, we can take out the special tool. Hello, and drop it on the floor. And at this point, I'll go ahead and put the electronic ignition mag pickup in here and get ready to do the initial timing. Right now, I'm going to use a wrench to tighten this all the way down and then put this oil line back on. Okay, I used the primary cover and the timing gauge inside to make a mark on the alternator at 28 degrees advanced. I have the bike lined up, the engine lined up at 28 degrees on this side, and over here on this side I have the magnetic pickup installed with the
little white dot inside the upper window used by Norton and BSA, while the lower window is used by Triumphs because of the different ways these the cams rotate. So it's all set for a test as soon as I get the gumption to do the test. Right now it's very tired, very hot. I'm going to tighten down this left foot peg and go to lunch.
Okay, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. I went inside and warmed up a couple slices of pizza, came back out here into the garage and said to myself, I said, sir, it's too hot to work out here right now. I checked, it's 107 degrees in Phoenix, probably that in my shop. I'm calling it a day. I'll pick this effort up tomorrow. So that is all. I'm going to call it a day.